Did Mr. Matlala pay for a Brazilian butt lift for you?
Yeah, and I must read this because it was for me a sore point in my career that I could just be taken so low after working so hard to be where I am with my integrity intact up until that moment when somebody thought under oath he could just get away with it. I wish to submit to this committee that it is rather gravely unfortunate that I have to respond to this. And for me, I must say, Mr. Matlala, the cybercrime, you can actually, cyber, what do you call them? Competencies. You can trace the money that I paid for my procedures. And I've given all of those statements as evidence to the evidence leaders. It's available for the committee to see, from my credit card to my check card to Dr. Pett, who actually did my procedures. I'm not shy, honorable members, to say I take care of myself. Being a police officer doesn't mean that you can just give up and people see us. We've got young women who must look at us as leaders, that actually I can do the job. We model the badge. So if I had to do this for myself, Honorable Malema, there are times when I wear that uniform and I carry the firearm and I'm like, no, damn, I look good. You know, there are times where I also, like you, I don't see it, you know, but it's all about my body, my decision, and what I deem fit as a woman at my level, with the money that I work hard for, not seeing my kids. If I can give an example to this committee, my son almost committed suicide on Sunday as I was about to come here. I don't know what my kids are going through. He was in ICU for the better part of the week. And I think Advocate was there actually at some point talking to me when it happened. So if I take my money to feel better, I'm not going to apologize to anybody. Yes, it can be a laughing stock for a moment. My biggest problem is that it was said under oath by a senior official of the South African Police Services. I do have the dates, I think for the sake of time, Chairperson, the procedure was done on the 16th of October in the afternoon. I went to work, and I took leave. General Sylvia is correct, because my back had pins, I couldn't sit properly. But I don't think it's something that for me he should have rode on as a man with a badge of honor. And an allegation that he just threw from nowhere to say that Mr. Matlala paid for it. In 2023, Honorable Sangon, I've not even seen Mbangazit. I've not even seen him at the time. And it is paraded on the global platform to say this general who represents this flag that I wear every day. I wear this every day because I represent my people. When I go to Abu Dhabi and I sit, I represent South Africa in terms of diplomacy. I'm not going to be sorry for what I do to look good. And maybe also juxtaposing General Sibia with Brigadier Majeng, I don't even know what Ozempic looks like. You can see Honorable Sangoni, I think I was built for show off. I was not built to be normal. I don't know what Ozempic, for this thing to be paraded and my name to be attached to it, it is rather gravely unfortunate. Lastly, I want to request the committee and the world at large, because I've been getting calls from as far as Paris, from as far as Tanzania, people asking what is going on, that you see these allegations for what they are, with an intent to damage me, my reputation, and also a deliberate attack on my credibility and integrity. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Did Mr. Matlala pay for a Brazilian what is it? BBL, yes. A BBL surgery for you?
If the chair can allow me, before I respond, I actually want to stand up. People have been dying to see this BBL. They were expecting Tebogo Tobejane, you know, Faith Nketsi. And I must say, Chair, I've actually had more guys approaching me now over the phone to say, can we go out? So I think everybody wants to test drive. I wouldn't mind standing. I wouldn't. That has become a national asset, so it must be seen before I respond to the question. I'm not sure if you see it, it's there, but I don't see it. Thank you very much.
Actually, one DM of the police showed me your picture and said, what is BBL here?
Exactly my point.
Do you know Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala?
I can say safely before this platform, I do not know Mr. Matlala. I think I have seen Mr. Matlala at General Sibiya's party in September. And I spoke to him once when we were asking for sponsorship. I think that also I'll cover. I don't have a relationship. We live in time of technology where we can triangulate. And I had said before, and I said again, I can be triangulated. I don't know Mr. Matlala.
Okay.
Neither does he know me. At that party, General Tema was sitting with me. General Tema is a friend of mine and who will come if she's called to attest that on that specific day, because of my on and off, General Sibiya and I were like on and off. Sometimes we are good, sometimes we are like extremely not good. So I said to her, I don't want to go alone. I've never gone alone. I always take my sister or take General Mamuteti sometimes. So both were not available. General Tema came with me. And on that specific day, as we were sitting, a lady dressed in white came to join us. And General Tema said to me, this is Tsakane Matlala, and she used to be Dr. Pet's mother's driver. So we met, we said the three of us. Later on, I think Mr. Matlala was standing, then she showed me that that's the husband of Tsakane, Mr. Matlala, not giving a name. And nobody introduced me to him. So
Was this the first time that you had learned of his
yes,
of his name?
Even seeing him, not meeting him, it was for the first time. And he was standing, I think, just close to the swimming pool.
Okay.
Counterintelligence to monitor interactions, bank accounts, relationships of SAPS members with certain individuals. And then with all of this knowledge, General, and at one stage, I think you were heading up this department. You did not see anything wrong with asking for a sponsorship from Cat Matlala as someone who was the head of counter. The head of counter goes to someone that has not only a service provider, and remember your mandate as counter is to detect interactions, improper relationships. And here you are telling us, as the former head of counterintelligence, you approached a service provider, which number one is improper and makes this questionable, and you approached someone with 17 charges. That was more than just a sad moment in your career.
It actually is regrettable. And much as I can say it was innocent, you know, I think from the look of things, it doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound correct, and it's something that will follow me. And no matter how much I can argue it out to say it was innocent, it remains. And again, as I said, it also exposes the vulnerabilities of us letting our guard down, relying specifically on supply chain to clear this sponsorship for us. I think it should go beyond that. So I do understand and agree with you.
Sure, General. You know why this is bothering me? Because I know we have these victim-friendly rooms at police stations who could have benefited from a fridge in one of our communities. You could have much rather donated that fridge to one of these impoverished communities. So we are and the reason why I'm asking you these questions, we are not only probing criminality, we are also trying to establish the people who are in these positions, are they fit for these positions? To answer a few of the following questions, do you agree that the initial audit was skipped? The initial audit, when you collect dockets, because I've been working with SAPS for many years, and I know that when we ask for dockets to be removed or maybe prioritized, you have a notification. The first step is you have a notification sent to the local police station, the station commander, informing them. Then you have that detective coming, sitting in the boardroom, and there's an official handover, an audit of the dockets before they get taken. Was that skipped?
It wasn't skipped. If I may remind Honorable James respectfully that the dockets were not at the station, they were with the PKTT.
Yes, with the PKT.
And the commander of the unit, Colonel Khumalo, is the one who brought the dockets to head office. And I think when they were here, Colonel Mdluli, Brigadier Khopotata, and the team from the PKTT then did an audit of those dockets before they were handed over.
Do you agree with me that prior to this decision that the key role players were not engaged?
I do agree with you.
The actual team, that they were not engaged on the intention of the minister?
I don't think they were. Also listening to Colonel Khumalo's testimony, I don't think there was proper communication to them. I do agree with you.
And also the custodian wasn't informed?
Exactly.
Do you then agree that based on what you've just said, that General Mwanazi was well within his rights to refuse those dockets back?
And which is why I never questioned and which is why I never differed with him. I think I understood because.
So we'd like to put on record that you agree with General, if you were General Mwanazi, you also wouldn't take those dockets back?
Definitely, I would not have taken them.
Do you think that those dockets would have been exposed to tampering?
I think there was a report compiled where General Muzipe was highlighting challenges, so I wouldn't know.
But you agree that because of the manner in which this happened, someone could have tampered with those dockets?
There is a possibility that I can't rule out because I was not physically involved in that process.
So hence, it is okay for General Mwanazi to say, I don't want those dockets back.
As a commander of the province, I think he was well within his rights.
In summary, the performance of the PKTT.
I actually looked at the method or the modality that they were using in terms of how they operated. It was something that in the organization, as I said, General Musikile and I tried to do that through the gist to get experts together. And I think reading the reports, I think when they started, the picture of crime was red. But as they progressed, I think certain areas became green and they became neutralized. So that's my reading of their performance.
And then how do you characterize General Spear's instruction? Because he was insisting, I would say maybe he was putting pressure on you. How do you characterize that conduct? Was it within his scope or he acted ultra-virus?
It was within his scope because remember he gave the instruction, I think when we went to report to the minister and we didn't have a report. So he was actually within his scope to push. But maybe push how, that with something else.
Yeah. The manner in which you are narrating the sequence of events here, the conclusion I can draw, or the inference, is that you were put under pressure to comply with an instruction of a directive. That's what I'm drawing because you are mentioning meetings from January, February. In February, the minister was upset. He said he's no longer going to speak with you in relation to this matter. He will speak with the national commissioner. So am I correct if I say you acted out of frustration and out of pressure that was put by General Sibia in you?
Maybe not even in terms of documentation. I think the calls that would be made to say, how far are you? I think I did say earlier, those would be maybe once a day or once in 2 days. And in all honesty, I just felt this must be done and over because it became unbearable. During the process, I think I explained that from the parliamentary meeting, General Mwanazi was there. So in my view, he was in the know in terms of the project. And If anybody were to call General MKHWANAZI, it would not have been myself and General Kumalo because we were implementing. It would have been either the DNC or the National Commissioner. And I think upon realizing that he is not part of, and then I began to express my reservation. In essence, I was not part of those who actually would attempt to have deliberately excluded him. On the contrary, I understood the process because I deal with the PCs on a daily basis. Thank you, Honorable.
Where were the dockets kept from the day when they were actually collected from KZN to head office? From head office, an attempt was made to return them back to KZN. But where were they kept? Who was actually having authority over those documents at the time?
It was the Office of Serious and Violent Crimes, General Motsipe and Brigadier Khopodi Tata. So they were kept within the SVC environment at National, General Motsipe and Brigadier Khopodi Tata.
Not in your office?
Not in my office.
Okay.
Maybe let me say, Honorable Mwango, never in my office.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I want to call a point of order, and I think this point of order is on you. You are failing us, Chair. We've always agreed that during the leading of evidence, we will ask clarity-seeking questions. Now, the whole day today, you've allowed members to come in, especially Honorable Malema, not asking clarity, and the rest of us are sitting here being very disciplined. The same member complains about the time of the evidence leader and still comes in the additional time that you sought to compensate for the time that we've taken. I really think you need to help us, Chair. We want to hear the evidence of the witness being led by the evidence leader. It's 1:30 now. You are going to say she must stop. But in the last 15 minutes, she's been interrupted again by the member who was complaining. Chairperson, please, can you assist us?
Okay, let me.
If she's looking for me, she will find me.
No, Honorable.
Because I've been asking clarity-seeking questions,
First,
items that are
No, this is
on the
wrong.
agenda.
Honorable Malema.
I've never asked anything new.
It's not a clarity-seeking question. You are following
You are
up.
not the one to determine this.
Now,
Not,
you are not running this
no, you are not
committee.
going to determine that. The
You're
chair.
not running this committee.
The chair will determine that, not
The
you.
evidence leader is not going to talk when you
But
want
the
it to talk.
chairperson is going to
Quiet because you
decide
want to
that,
talk.
not
No.
you. This is not an ANC meeting. This
not
is a
an
committee
EFF gathering
that is going to
either.
be decided by the chair,
You
not
allow
you.
the chair to chair. You are not the
Chairperson,
chair, Honorable Malema.
You allowed me to make follow-ups. I did exactly that through you.
Are not supposed to
Not
be
through a
following
backdoor
up.
arrangement.
Clarity-seeking questions. You think none of us
I
have questions
asked
that we want to ask, but we're
clarity-seeking
restricting
questions
the process.
Through you, Chair. I asked clarity-seeking questions through you. And if she has got nothing to say, she must keep quiet. Because if we have something to say, we'll say it. And we've been saying it through you. I'm not going to be directed by her on when to come in, not to come in. As long as you allow me, I'm going to do that, not her.